actually make... And that's a 3 o'clock. Goodbye. It doesn't actually make it any, It doesn't actually make it any easier. It just, like, it has the camera be in a less stupid place. So you can actually see what you're doing. Okay, so gliding in the remake is kind of a weird one, right? Because there's a global physics chain. This was a problem in Crash as well, actually, which is that in order to make sure movement felt roughly the same between the 3 games, all 3 games in the collection have the same movement. But the level design has mostly gone unchanged. And that has consequences. In Crash's case, it basically breaks the first game completely. It makes that game borderline unplayable. In Spyro's case, it makes the first game kind of hard, because you glide shorter, but you jump a bit higher. And the absence of the hover in the first game can kind of fuck you. Really, I think they should have just added the hover to the first game. Fuck it, who cares? Hey, so bored. At the very least, right, you don't... Oh, that does work. Cool skip, yo. That looked really goofy, but it worked. So it turns out if you pause the game on the very first frame that, like, the fade-in to that cutscene is starting, it skips the fade-in. So it just skips immediately. And it looks a bit goofy, but it works. Yeah, so, like, the original Spyro 1 actually has, like, really derpy fucking controls. You don't appreciate this until you go back and play, but turning in Spyro 1 is really hard. Like, there's a reason speedrunners, when you notice this, they have to, when they try and turn, they come to a stop, jump, and then turn. Because that's significantly easier to move the character around than it is to actually turn on the ground. The remake fixes this by unifying the control scheme. And it is actually a significant improvement to Spyro 1, but the universal changes to jump height causes issues with some of the gaps. It becomes less of a problem as you move on. And, like, in addition, Spyro 1 also just has some weird level design in general in spots. Like, Spyro 1's kind of hard relative to the rest of the series. Treetops. Ha ha! Fuck that stage. That stage sucks dick. By the time you hit, like, Spyro 3, there's no problem whatsoever anymore, and it all feels pretty natural. And the art direction of the remake is, mwah, it's juicy, it's spicy. Character. The fucking art design of that shit is carrying the fucking collection, like, hard. It's like, it's tempting enough to double dip on it when it comes to PC so I can play it in 60 FPS with the fucking motion blur off, because I played I think they've actually, like, patched motion blur select off into the game now on console. But I played it in 30 FPS with the motion blur on, and it sucked. Like, I hated that. Every single time I turned the camera, the game board became a mess. It sucked dick. Why is modern gaming so fucking disappointing? Like, that's actually the reason I haven't bought the Crash Team Racing remaster yet, is because, haha, 30 FPS lock in 2019. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? This is a racing game, you dumb motherfucker. Nope. Nope. Absolutely not. I am that guy who won't buy a fucking game if it doesn't run at 60. Eat dick. And then they added loot boxes to it, so I'm definitely not interested now. Yeah, so the Crash Team Racing remake pulled a hilarious scam to get around the fact that the ESRB and like other content boards were putting like markings on the box for microtransactions now. They waited until post-launch to patch them into the game. As a result of that, the boxes did not need to be recalled to have the sticker put back on it. This is gonna gold, I think. No, but just about. Hey, Zoku's here. Did you know chat was, like, totally missing you? Everyone kept fucking asking me, where's Zoku? Again, Zoku should be doing the stream. Zoku's more popular than I am. Dude, I was saying that during the first weeks the game came out. So I was saying, I bet you anything that this slow-ass, dumb, grindy progression system was designed for loot boxes that they, like, cut before the game came out. And I was dead on the fucking money. I was so right, my ego grew like 4 sizes, which is very dangerous, because it's already quite big. Zoku is well liked, and everyone misses Zoku, but also half of them seem to think you're a dude. Which is very funny. As like, there were a lot of messages like, where's Zoku? I always like his greetings. I'm just like, Zoku's a girl. They like you enough to notice your absence, but not enough to realize your gender. Everyone is a dude online, of course. Naturally. No, well, you don't make a big deal of it, but I do address you as, like, she. Like, it does come up. How runs, by the way? Not bad, actually. I finished one that was 1 second off PB. It was just about. I had a bad hotel, but whatever. It was okay. They can't all be winners. It would be weird if they were all winners. I think I hit the 23 frame again, by the way. Because I am a fucking god. I will confirm. I did. I am a god. I hit the same frame again. I am insanely good at hitting the 1223 frame. And you know what? I like this frame. It's 3-hour clock diff. It's not bad. It's not, like, the greatest in the world, but it's hard to do much better than that. Did I hit the fatal frame? Ooh, this guy thinks he's fucking funny! Ooh! I shouldn't do that. That's... You're gonna be killing me over here. Toxic streamer. Streamer's fucking toxic right now. If you're in the same room as me, you'd get the shit I've got. That's toxic. Love to can juice. Yeah, now that I've had time to, like, actually think about it a little bit, when I get sub 41, I still have no idea which thing in particular I'm gonna do. But, you know, I could go back and do more of, like, straight any percent for a bit. Because my time in that's still, like, not particularly good. It's okay. But I kind of just, like, one and done it. With the manip and fucked off. Go hard? No. No, I can't drink any more tea. Because I'm gonna go to bed. You know, after the stream and drinking tea. Well, that has caffeine in it, and that will keep me awake. That's no good. I need to go to bed, get a good night's sleep, so then I can get up, nice and early, in the afternoon. So I can wake up, have a nice breakfast, and then play dancing game. Until it's late in the evening, and then the neighbors would get angry at me if I kept playing dancing game. Oh yeah, okay, so when I say tea, I mean, like, this is a thing with being British, is that when a British person says tea, they invariably only mean one kind of tea. Like, your green teas, your whatever teas, we don't fucking care about any of that. We only drink, like, builder's tea. English breakfast tea. That is the kind of tea that English people drink. If you say tea, that's what they mean. If you ask for tea in a cafe, that is what you are going to get. And that kind of tea has caffeine in it. Not like a huge amount of caffeine in it, but it has caffeine in it. And that is the cup of tea in England. In Britain, even. If you say tea, that's what I mean. Other kinds of tea do not have caffeine in them, but those are not the kinds of tea that I drink. I do not, in fact, have any green tea lying around. Hey, J-Hobos. Hello, Itchy Tickles. I don't know why that didn't trigger an alert. Oh, there it is.
The only tea I want is testosterone.
There you go. Robbie, thank you very much for the 500 bits. That was really delayed. People who like tea sometimes drink Earl Grey tea. Like, you can buy it. But the fact of the matter is that English breakfast tea is so ingrained in the culture that, like, if you see tea on the menu in, like, a cafe, English breakfast is the tea you will get. If you ask for tea, they will assume you mean that one. Like, this is the thing about, like, the Trips one about America, actually. Is that if I ask for tea in America, they will want me to be more specific. Whereas you don't have to do that in England. If you ask for a tea, you'll just get English breakfast. Yawn. Is blood pudding exactly what it sounds like? Not precisely. Mostly because blood pudding is actually a kind of sausage, but yes, it does involve blood.
Did you find the lady you're looking for? What's her name? Mary?
Literally cooked blood. It does involve cooked blood, but there is also like some meat in it. Is it metaphor blood? No, it's blood. Like, it's just blood. It's, I don't think it tastes, like, grey, but it's not repulsive. What kind of blood? Pig's blood. Like, it's edible. Blood pudding is perfectly edible, but it's not something I would, like, willingly elect to eat, you know? Later, Zoku. Right, now the Zoku's gone, let's play marbles. Yeah, the timing is perfect for marbles. No, the pink in the steak is not blood. It's just shit that's not cooked. Cook your meat, people. This run looks like we're like only 15 minutes in. And the hospital was a big reset point because this run's dumb. It's only 3 seconds as well. People asking for their steak rare. Fucking fools. They think they're trying to impress people. Just cook your fucking meat. Don't be a dickhead. I know there's a big stigma in America, and I normally have to tell Americans to fuck off when I order, like... Because that's another thing, by the way. They don't ask that in England. If you order meat, they'll cook it. Unless you're at, like a place that specifically specializes in meat. And then they kind of will ask it, I guess. But in most ordinary places, they won't ask you. Whereas every other fucking place will ask you, like, how you want your food. And I'm just like, well done. I actually like my food to be cooked, interestingly. And America is always like, this is why you having the food actually cooked. It's like, because I like my food to be cooked. 7, 8, 1, 7. I didn't beef it that time. Just, you cook the food. People, like, overwhelmingly, I'm pretty sure, pretend to like their food, like, rare, but in reality, I'm not sure it's actually a thing. I'm pretty sure it's all just bluster. Nice duck, yo. Just cook the fucking food. I delayed that one for 9 years. But it's okay, because I did maximum damage with every hit. Oh, that's weird. Ooh, that was fucking dangerous. That was about as late as I possibly could have done that without getting hit. Kind of lucky, honestly. That's really good. That was a really good flesh lips attached to a pretty good hospital. So yeah, that was a really good split. Now he should be done. Not really. Remember, this run's a dumb piece of shit, so like it can die at any reason, at any moment. Run is never done until it's like actually done. Never get attached. Never get excited. Don't do it. I know chat always wants to get excited, but, like, don't. And it's kind of the role of, like, the chat to enjoy the thing. Why is this category so shitting? Because it's RNG hell. Like, every enemy can do bullshit. And it's all totally random. Well, the thing about the getting excited thing is that it always, like, kind of culminates in, like, you know, when the run dies and everyone's like, no, Bibble Thump there. I'm just like, it's like, fuck's sake. Silent Hill 1 is the game with random health for enemies, yes. Like, actually just straight up random. That nurse just spawned in front of me? Kind of. Fuck. Bed corner. You like all chocolate? No, you enjoy Coca-Cola. This is fraudulent. Fuck. Nice. Way to get stuck on the corner like a dipshit. I mean, the run can go tits up at any point from here to the end. There's like at least 4 different run killers. It's just a nice gold split. Like, that was a significant gold as well. How is tits up a bad thing? Well, it is a bad thing. Deal with it. And I have already done a fuck up. The light didn't turn off. I absolutely tried to turn it off, but I guess the game decided not to register that one. Weird and ultimately pointless time loss. Is this a no enemy glitch? Kind of. Having no enemies isn't actually the point of this glitch. It's to skip a cutscene trigger that happens here. And that just about worked. Ever thought about trying the game Remnant? No. Spicy Tuna, thank you for the 100 bits. I've heard of Harvester. The next GDQ is in Florida. Which, last I checked, is nowhere near NYC. I don't think GDQ is ever in NYC. I don't think it'll ever be in... I don't think it'll ever be in New York City. That seems unlikely. Wouldn't it be NYC? Because it's crazy expensive to hold an event in NYC directly. How the run so far? Not bad, actually. Like, there's a reason Florida has been chosen for this AGDQ coming up, because it's hella fucking cheap to fly to, because Disney. Haha. Subsidies. But that makes it a really convenient place to hold an international event. Because it's relatively easy to get to. Whereas NYC is not and not, respectively. To buy a well, the GDQ's not until January. It'll be fine. People are actually like already buying the tickets now, and it doesn't cost much. It's significantly cheaper than it is to get to fucking Minnesota. Bitch-ass state. Or like the princely nothing that is Maryland. Did I get other runs to GDQ or only Silent Hill games? Only Silent Hill games so far. Well, actually, that's kind of a lie. I did Shuriken once, but no one gives a shit about Shuriken. What I say about Maryland? There's fucking nothing in Maryland. I'm pretty sure Maryland consists of 90% roads. It's the middle of fucking nowhere. At least there's towns in Minnesota, sort of, kinda. I mean, I feel like 90% of America is fucking roads. Absolute state of that country. I had the double tap thing again, fuck's sake. But what does it matter if you have places to go if they're all 50 million miles away? Fucking Americans and they're needing a car to have basic existence. Pointless. Can't do anything in this fucking place. Bruh. No, it don't. Man! Bruh. I know America's big, but bruh. I know, I hate that aspect of America. I imagine it's better if you live there, obviously, but, visiting it makes America basically unnavigable. Spoken like someone who's clearly never been to London. I don't know where the London is foggy thing comes from, because it's really not. It's kind of polluted on account of being a major city hub, but it's not foggy. Isn't London more rain than fog? Yeah. And I don't know why people say London's foggy. I don't understand that. Like, maybe that was the case, like, maybe, I don't know, like 100 fucking years ago. But now that I live in the north of England, the north of England is foggier than London. Because it's a shit ton colder up here. I mean, it's cold and rainy, but it's not, like, foggy. London is expensive to drive in. London is expensive to drive in because they have good public transport that you can use. That's kind of the point.
I disagree.
Some Mima. Thank you very much for the 3 months. Northeast. Well, you say that. It was 30 degrees last Monday. Or this Monday? It was this Monday. It was hot as fucking balls in the Northeast. It was 30 goddamn fucking degrees out. It was terrible. Then it died. Like, that lasted for like a day max. And then it's like gone back down to like 16 degrees. Also a good split. It is hotter each year. It's fucked up. 30 degrees. Fuck you guys. I fucking hate Americans. I should clarify that, like, weather dick waving, because there's always going to be one twat who writes in chat, oh, that's not that hot, it was like 40 degrees here a few days ago. Fuck you, don't do that. Don't fucking do that. I'm not impressed, I think you're a bellend, don't fucking do it. Like, people die when it gets to be 30 degrees in England, don't do it. Like, AC is not a fact of life in England. Whereas, you know, every motherfucker bragging about, like, oh, it's really hot where I live, you guys think you know heat. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, A, low humidity. B, you guys, like, fucking have air conditioning in every building. No one is impressed with your weather dick raving, especially when people are dying. Because that happens. Every time there's like a heat wave, people just die. It's a known effect. It causes heart attacks, funnily enough. One of the biggest predictors of heart attacks is, wow, this run is now fucking forfeit, I guess. Actually, well, that's time loss for sure, but... Yeah, there's always a weather pissing contest with fucking Americans with no context for this shit. Like, I was talking to some people not that long ago about how fucked up the weather was getting to be in... I should not have gotten away with that, by the way. That was the wrong position. How fucked up the weather was getting to be in Tokyo in the run-up to the Summer Olympics because it was getting, like, so hot that construction workers were just straight dying in the heat. And they were like, oh, what's the number? And I was like, it's like 35 degrees here. And they go, ha! It's not that hot over here in the south. It was 40 degrees. And I'm like, dude, I linked you an article about how someone died due to the heat. And your immediate response to that was fucking, ha, it's not that hot. Eat shit. Like, what is wrong with what is wrong with the national consciousness of America collectively that they do that? Like, it's not a fucking contest. How do they die from heat like that? Because when it gets hot, people die. Because it turns out that, like, anywhere in the ballpark of, like, 30 degrees is not really good for anyone. Like, it doesn't matter how tough you think you are, that weather just isn't good. We have heaters in the UK. Like, we keep our places warm. Houses are built to retain heat rather than lose it. Which is the thing that makes, like, the brief summer heat wave, like, deadly. Because, you know, sure, the temperature of the air might be a lowly 33 degrees. That was near instant. And the camera angle is really weird. But, inside the house, it's gonna get even fucking hotter. That just makes me feel like I've forgotten something. That wasn't even the greatest labyrinth in the world either. I got blocked, but I ended up saving 7 seconds somehow, I guess. Yeah, people die in 30-degree heat because it's hot as fuck. If you don't hydrate that well and you're made to, like, work in that weather, people die from it, yes. It's not that unusual. 30-degree weather is shitty. It also, again, heat changes like that have a habit of exacerbating existing heart conditions, which is why one of the best predictors of heart attacks is actually heat waves. That's the reason someone died at Defend the North not that long ago. Which, by the way, is a fighting game tournament. Someone just had a heart attack because it was so fucking hot. It's it's remarkably reliable. That kind of heat wave is hella fucking dangerous. I never liked that. There's always a sort of, like, unspoken assumption that someone who, like, dies in that kind of heat, like, either is stupid and, you know, like, deliberately endangered themselves, or was, like, weak somehow, and it's like, I don't get that. Again, what is with the national consciousness that causes that? That was a good enough out of bounds. I kind of got stuck on the corner for a bit, but you didn't really see it because I was off the screen. I felt it. Game. Nice one, dude. Awesome. Yeah, 30 degrees is a shit ton higher than the mean temp over here. It's like 15 degrees right now. Oh my god, game. What the fuck are you doing? That was an impressively dumb thing for the game to do there. Game's really trying to kill this one. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's the reason why AC isn't that common in England, because it really only gets to be super hot very briefly. And then it's, like, pretty cold. I mean, I feel like basic logic is enough to deduce why a heat wave is dangerous, regardless of, like, where one is from. Because, hey, if a temperature is significantly higher than what people living in a location are used to, yes, that will probably throw some people for a loop. But for some reason, people think this works in absolutes. Lacking that, even... Oh, buttons. Lacking that, even, there's also just, you know, cultural oddities in places, because you have, like... Generally, there's countries that are super used to having air conditioning just never take that into account. What is the camera doing? Why is the camera just, like, absolutely refusing to cooperate for this last stretch? And say, I'm gonna lose a fuck ton of time on this split. This has sucked giant dick. It's mostly just the camera, like, repeatedly failing to function. Which is fucking annoying. And I'm getting colds. I don't know, I get annoyed about this topic, possibly more than I should, but I do. It is, however, true and marginally hilarious that Britain does kind of shut down when, like, snow happens. Like, that's a national stereotype that is generally pretty accurate. Is that gonna hit me or is that gonna bounce? That didn't turn properly, that's not good. Ow. That's not good, please don't do that. Ugh, really far away too. That fight needed to go in the other direction. Not very hot, that one. A fitting end for this run, I think. Not hot.
What do you want, James?
I swung in the wrong direction at least once, and that made it a bit weird.
I don't want any damn flowers. Just go home already.
Mary, what are you saying?
Look. Disgusting. I don't deserve flowers.
Yeah, England really does just kind of collapse if there's, like, even 2 feet of snow. We don't have the infrastructure in place to quickly deal with it, so people have to, like... I don't know. I got the day off work once when it snowed because it, like, clogged all the fucking roads so no one could drive in. Like, I walk, so I don't have that problem, but I still got the day off. Which, like, it is safer if we all stay off, rather than, you know, dying on the roads because they're badly maintained pieces of shit, but... as an alternative, we could just have better roads. My positioning on this is kind of janky. Oh, okay. I might not make it now. Yeah, this is really bad. Okay, no, we made it. That's just about gonna do it. That was a really bad finish, though. Well, we did it. That was a really shit finish, though. That was a really bad fast, like, final 2 fights. Nevertheless, we did do it. That was a brutally bad final boss fight, though. Neither of those fights were good. I accrued so much of a lead that I really tried to blow it as well, but... well... it's done now, I suppose.